Hello, my name's Chris Neely here at Rapid7. And in today's short video, we're going to be looking at how Surface Command can provide you visibility and the all-important single source of truth across the entire organization. Now, many companies believe they have good visibility, and typically it's divided or siloed by those different teams. So you'll have different technologies managed by siloed teams that all have their own view of what they believe is the correct, in this case, asset count, or threats, or vulnerabilities, or the right levels of controls. So how do you get that single source of truth that everyone can work off? Well, you do that through data reconciliation. Surface Command is designed to help correlate and aggregate multiple data sources to give you that single source of truth. So let's have a look at that. So here we can see a default dashboard in Surface Command, giving us a data overview of all the different sources that we've already ingested and correlated together into that single source of truth. So we can see the total number of active assets that we're seeing on the network, or active compute, meaning servers and workstations. Here we can see that in this particular lab environment, I've actually ingested 137,000 raw records. Back to that funnel, that's the piece on the left. All those different technologies add up to about 137,000. The platform has then made sense of that, looking for uniqueness, and has basically drilled that down to 68,000 unique assets that are available. And then of that, I further filtered it, looking at active assets on my network. Assets that were seen in the last 30 days equates to about 50,000. So you can see the orders of magnitude, very much like that funnel, giving us that single source of truth. Now, this is a single dashboard, but you can see how we could break this information down based on asset type or operating system. Different teams within the business could now have their own dashboards. IT could have, the workstation team could have their own dashboard, and the server team could have one. Security could have one focused on posture. And different lines of business could all have their own focus on the same source of data. Let's look at an asset just to see how we can add to that. So under assets, I'm just going to filter on assets. I'm filtering looking for assets that have, in this case, ServiceNow. And I'm just going to click on an asset, and we can just have a look at how the single source of truth is providing additional value. So let me just extend this out. So you can see this one asset, and this once again demonstrates the funnel that I was showing earlier. We've ingested 7 different types of technology: vulnerability management. We've got Entra or Azure AD. We've got ServiceNow. We've got Intune. We've got Defender, sending our logs to Exabeam and Active Directory. So from a posture point of view, maybe from security, I can see that this system will have disk encryption. It is compliant. It's got Defender running on it in a healthy state. I can see it's being vulnerability scanned. I can understand the full posture of this asset. We're pulling all this relevant information out to tell you everything you need to know about the asset. So for IT, they can understand the type of system it is, the networking, what it is, operating systems, when it was last seen. For security, they can understand what mitigations are present on the asset. Does it have antivirus? Does it have behavior prevention? Does it have disk encryption? What exposures and vulnerabilities are present on the asset? A wealth of information. And then if you think of security operations and dealing with incidents, this information is so important to help you reduce that mean time to respond. But it's not just the posture of the asset. Surface Command also maps the relationship between different components and objects. So not only do we have the asset here, but we've also got a number of vulnerabilities and exposures, all those relationships I talked about earlier, so vulnerabilities and exposures. We've got some user information, who's accessing these systems. We've got location information. We've got networking information, so I can physically and logically locate this asset. We know the configuration of the asset. We have everything necessary to help us deal with an incident. When it comes to the mean time to respond, the first thing analysts are doing is they're having to research everything. Where is this asset? Who owns it? What is it? Is it important to the business? I can see here as an example, it's running business services from ServiceNow. And I can see here it is business criticality of medium. So now I understand the impact this asset has. All of this helps those incident responders deal with incidents and reduce that mean time respond. And anyone can use this information across the business, different lines of business, IT, security, hugely valuable in that regard. And this is how Surface Command provides that single source of truth. Thank you very much.